Alright, what's up everybody? Teray with Armstrong Aroids. It's been a little bit since we have had the opportunity to hang out. Went through a little bit of a bout. We got sick with the flu, but we're now back and healthy. Figured we'll do something a little bit different this time. I was going to sit down and I had a few things I was going to prepare and talk to you about. And we still will. We're going to talk about this new moss pole that I came up with and why I like it, and then I'll give you a little update on the strawberry shake that we picked up at one of recent swaps, and maybe talk to you a little bit about the last swap. The last swap was actually a success, even though it wasn't a success. You know, the weather was horrible, but we had a good time and still had a pretty good turnout. And so we're going to go from there. We'll kind of talk about that a little bit. But I think for right now, though, I haven't actually been down in the grow tent today. And so I'm going to go down into the grow tent and we'll meet you down there and we'll see what's going on in there. Let's check it out in the grow tent. See you in a second. Bye. Okay, what's up everybody? We are back and we are down in the dungeon area. Oh, look at you, looking all pretty. Alright, so let's open up the tent and see what we've got going on inside here. Just wanna hop on in here like so. Get this closed back up here. Oopsie daisy. Don't want to close the light in there. There we go. Good enough. Alright, let's see what's going on inside the tent. Coming to you all natural, so whatever we see is what we see. You know, there's obviously nothing to hide. First glance, it's Radicans crossed with a Luxurian. Oh ho ho, look at you. I am Luxurian. Somebody asked me about the difference at the last swap. And I was trying to share with them that one of the big differences is the ridges on the Radican's cross are a lot more narrow. They're not as deep, they're not as refined, and then also the leaf in itself, even though this is a small cutting, the leaf in itself is a lot less defined and it's a lot less firm. Like if you look at this guy, these are super deep ridges. It's very defined. It's nice and thick. And so that's really where your big difference is. I would imagine that a lot of the hardiness and stability, and actually this is actually a really stable plant too, but I would imagine that maybe the cross might be a little bit more stable and be a little bit less susceptible to damage. Because they are just, you know, they're hardy plants. In fact, I was sharing that our Radican Cross Luxurians, we don't even keep them in humidity. I think really the only reason why this one's even in here is so that I can get it to root a little bit faster, because the weather's warmer inside the tent and then the conditions are a little bit better, and so it would be a little bit more apt to root. But yeah, basically that's that. What else do we have down in here? Got a Mikan back here that, you know, Mikans and me just, they usually end up in prop boxes. But hopefully this one's looking pretty good. I've lost a couple leaves off of it, but it looks like it has the desire to do its thing, so we're looking good there. You know, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even remember what this is. I should have wrote it down, and I didn't. I feel like it's a queen. It might be a War Queen. Got a baby mojito growing out here. Looking pretty good. Got a new leaf coming in. Mayo. Definitely not a tie for $300. But look at that. It's got a new leaf coming in. It's got a couple new leaves coming in. It's actually doing really good. Look at this guy. Look at you. Doing your thing. So that'll be fun. Got another Mayo back in there. Oh, the queen. I don't like the queen of death for me lately. It's not doing well. It's going to go back to a chunk. It's probably just going to end up in a prop box, but that's okay. And then in here we've got some Glorious. Not Gloriosum. You can tell because it's got the longer heart shape. And then we've got some variegated Soderoy. You have to just turn it. Kind of looks like it's the Plomanii. What is the plant that maybe it's not the Plomania, it's the maybe it is the Silver Cloud, whichever one that is. And this is actually not that. This is a variegated Soderoy. And we've got a Magnificum. And let's see. I think this is pure Magnificum. I have a Magnificum that's crossed with Papillominum. And I think this one's just pure Magnificum. And then a Robidicon, something like that. I can't remember the name of that one. Not sure why my camera cut out, but we're back. So on this one, we're really only getting two distinct colors. And I don't know if it's a matter of lighting or what it is, but you know, clearly you look down in there, you can see those two are attached. It is clearly a tricolor. And this leaf, this is new. Let's see, this guy right here. This hadn't even unfurled yet the last time I was down here. So, and it only has the two colors, and then this one only has the two colors. So I'm wondering if as it gets older, or I don't know, it's pretty close to the light. So we'll kind of see what happens with that. But they are all Scindopsis tricolors, and so I don't know. I have to figure out what it is that causes that third color to come in. Maybe I need to put it in the shade or something. Kind of the same thing with this one. This one, let's see. You can see all three colors. Now, I don't think it's humidity because we've got some pretty good humidity going on down here. Well, maybe not so much right now because we have the tent open, but 63% humidity, which tells me that I probably need to refill the humidifiers, honestly. But I'm not sure. We'll figure that out. Anyways, on to the next thing. So we've got a green splash. Looking pretty good there. Let's see if we can zoom up on that. Got a little bit of the pink highlights in the veins. And then the dark green freckles. Makes for a pretty plant. I think I have a couple more of those coming in. Got a variegated Giganteum. Also looking pretty good. We're rooting it out, and it's doing really good. That's really ready to go into some leca. Maybe that's what one of the things that we were going to do today was supposed to be, is get that transferred over into some leca. Finally, oh my goodness. Ring of Fires, they just do not have the desire to live. But this guy is a fighter, he's a trooper, and I think he's going to make it. These two new roots right here, which we're going to put some more water in. But those are new roots, and there's actually some secondary roots in there. So look right in there, not at my dirty nails, but right there you see some secondary roots taking place there. So that tells me that it's probably going to make it, and that's exciting because they usually struggle. Man, they struggle. We got a pink princess right here with some very low variegation. Pretty variegation, but some low variegation. It's got the 3 colors going on in there, but there's just not a lot happening with it. We have what once was probably a burgundy princess. You don't even see any pink in this anymore. Probably should just prop this. I think this is going to end up going on the plant wall in the shop, to be honest. Lots of little cuttings up here. Some variegated ZZs. Got a dead something. I don't know what this even is. What was, I should say, what was this? Not even what is this. Oh, Trubii Dark Form. I've had zero luck with these. These Trubii Dark Forms, just zero. They're worse than a variegated Ring of Fire after it's lost its root system. They just don't live for me. Zero luck with those. What else do we have? Our Regales in the background, struggling. That's one thing that I will not do, is I will not bring in a large Regale that's this big again. We got 2 of them, and both of them just never really took off. They never really built up a root system to support the transport, and that just kind of doomed them from the beginning. But lesson learned, just go young and then grow big, right? Here's a perfect example. This started out with leaves that were this size, and I chose to keep these leaves primarily just because they were putting in work, and the work that they were putting in was putting out this. And then after they put in work to put out that, here's another small dying off leaf. They put in more work in order to put out this, which is even bigger. This guy. This guy. Huge leaf. And, let's look at this. Just immense. Big leaf. Super happy. And then it's obviously happy because it's trying to, do its thing and procreate, which is kind of cool. Got some TC growing in the background, which is kind of interesting. I know TC is not everybody's thing, so one thing that I will clearly disclose is that if we sell anything that is TC, we'll let you know that it's TC. Now, again, as I've stated in the past, I don't really have anything against TC. I think that it's very much like Kaylee Ellen says, your culture is as strong as its parent, or as its original clone, I would say, its parent clone. And so if the original was in good shape, then the TC is probably going to be in good shape. And that's kind of what I'm seeing so far. These Paraiso Verdes look really good. I mean, they're healthy, they're well variegated, they're strong survivors, not doing anything weird. And so I think these are actually going to be really strong plants, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever, other than the fact that it drives the rarity up, or excuse me, it drives the rarity down, which also in turn drives the cost down. And so if you happen to have a Paraiso Verde that's grown from root or seed or propagation, then it's probably not going to be as valuable as we may soon see with the Thai constellation, which this, I'm going to be very clear, is not a TC. It has nothing to do with TC, at least to my knowledge anyways, as you can see probably anyways, because it just doesn't, TCs don't grow like that. But it's going to drive the price down because they're going to become more readily available, and so it's just going to happen. And so prices will come down, and you'll have to buy it for less, and if you're a seller, you're going to have to sell it for less. It just is what it is. Kind of the same thing with the Ring of Fire. I think inside this little guy here, we've got a few that are Ring of Fires. I don't know if this is one or not. Yeah, little Ring of Fire doing its thing. Hopefully it will be a lot more hardy, actually, honestly, than the other ringifiers that we import, because they struggle. Imported ringifiers, they just don't do well. Got some prop boxes up there. Probably won't get into that today, just because I don't want to make the video too long. Got a Monster Elbow. Picked this guy up for like, I don't know, 150, 175 or something, knowing that it had low variegation and it was kind of reverting. There's another leaf that's coming out that seems to be sprouting from another location. So, kind of have some hopes for this guy because there is some variegation in the stem. So maybe that will be the new and improved "you made a good decision" leaf. We'll see. Got another pink princess in here that's not looking so pink at the moment. And another variegated soderoy. This one looks pretty good actually. Look at the variegation on that guy. It's a nice variegated soderoy. So that's gonna look good. That will obviously go in the shop. Got a Magnificum crossed with Poppylaminum. And it's putting out a new leaf. Let's see how that sizes up. Got an El Chaco that's like, I'm gonna die, okay, I'm gonna live, no, I'm gonna die, okay, I'm gonna live. It's now in its I'm gonna live stage. We'll see if it continues to feel that way. Can't really see the red too much in there. But El Chaco indeed. All of our Syngonium tricolor red spots we've already transferred over to the stores, so it's pretty much what you have in here. Got my little jungle boogie down in there. That was in the last video. With its lack of desire to live, I shared with you that I was going to take it back down to almost the roots, but not quite. And that I was going to put it in water, so I've done that. And we're not seeing a lot of sign of life or happiness yet. It has stabilized, so the other two leaves have stayed greenish, but at the same time it hasn't done a whole lot beyond that. But we'll see. It hasn't been down here for too long, so it's gonna have some opportunity. We'll let it do its thing. Variegated soderoy. This one's not doing so well. This one's kind of having the struggles, and I don't know if it's because I forgot to water it one time. This new leaf is doing pretty good. I can't hold it and show it to you at the same time. Let's see if we can do a balancing act. Ladies and gentlemen, do not do this at home. Okay. Put that there, hold it there. So that's looking pretty good. And we're putting out a new leaf, but these older leaves, they just, I don't know. I feel like it's got a shallow root system. I may have to pull it out and take a look. Which is probably the case because I don't see any roots. Well, I see these two roots, so they've got those two. But they could be driving this. See how that looks really happy? It's all standing up, doing well. And then you've got this other side that's kind of like, not doing well, not so happy. That's probably not being fed by those two roots. My guess is that those two roots are feeding the happy part of it. But all in all, if something's happy and it is growing root system and it is doing fairly good in some areas, worst case scenario, and in fact I don't even think I'm gonna prop this because of how far down that probably cuts, and where maybe I could probably actually right there, I'll probably prop it right there, because if you take a look at that, that's going to the unhappy roots or unhappy leaves, but they're not like in bad shape, so we'll see what happens. But I'll keep an eye on that. There's a good chance that that might get propped and chopped, or chopped and propped. All right. Oh, This is not a Forgetii because it has a sinus, and it's not a crystallinum because it is too round like a Forgetii. You know, oh wait, those are two different plants. Here we go. Well, this guy. Let's pull this out so we're not so confused here. I am almost inclined to believe that this is a Forgetii crossed with crystallinum. It's kind of small and it's been struggling a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with that guy. He may end up in the plant wall just because I don't know what to do with him. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the... Oh, well, here we go. No, we don't. I thought that was a tinea, but the tinias are both upstairs and in the shop already. We didn't really talk about the luxurian. We showed you the luxurian, but we got the luxurian. He's still doing well in his awesomeness. The secondary leaf came with a little bit of damage, so that's the original damage from the leaf. But the leaf in itself, it's still actually in good shape. Still healthy, hardy, doing good. I'm not going to lift it up, but it started to... Maybe I will. No, I won't. In here, I have seen the root system starting to grow out. I will tell you that as hardy as it is, the root system does grow really slow. And so you just gotta be patient and let it do its thing. And over time, at least for me, over time, it will continue to grow its roots and do well. But it's a trooper, and it just will kind of hang out and look good during the whole time that it's growing itself out. Okay, so I guess that's it for the tent. Maybe that's it for this video. Look at his roots. Down in there. Boom. Looking good. So yeah, one thing that I have noticed is that now that we've got the shop up and we've got each of the cabinets in the shop up, it has given us more space, and so it's kind of looking a little bit more empty down here in the grow tent, which is nice because it's going to give us the ability to bring in and hold more plants and grow out more plants so that we can get more good stuff in the store. And so pretty excited about that. Let's do some B-roll. Let's talk about what we're doing here. So we're gonna water some plants, and this Ace of Spades, I mean, when you talk about loving to be root bound and just soaking up the goodness, and obviously I'm probably gonna replant this soon, but look at those roots. But at the same time, look at how happy he is. Oh, super happy. Okay. So yeah, he's doing good. We're going to drop a little bit of water in our cutting here. Just the nice thing about grow tent is you can kind of make a mess. Get a little sloppy, spill some water everywhere. That's okay, because what it does is it creates humidity. I'm not sure what this chunk is, but whatever it is, these aerial roots are activated. And it's green. I feel like this is a queen. This might be one of my queens. So just give it just a little bit. Not a lot, because clearly there's no leaves to do much with that water, but let's get at least enough into the reservoir. And for those that have seen my previous videos, this is what I call the reservoir. A little section of leca down there before it reaches the sphagnum moss. Hopefully that's going to do something. Alright, what else we got here? Tricolor. It's kind of hard to do with the camera in one hand and you're watering in the other. Oh, over water. All right, let's pour some of that out. Still overwatered. That's good. All right. And looking good there. Not looking like an authentic tricolor, but I promise you it is. Let's move that for a second because I need to get back here. Hello, pedatum. You say pedatum, I say pedatum. We say pedatum. Still sounds like pedatum. I'm gonna switch up here. Give me some water. That. Okay. Oh, so this is one thing. This pedatum hasn't really had an opportunity to do it just yet, just because I haven't had it for too long. And I think that the aerial roots on this just don't grow quite as quickly as some of the others. But I like that particular type of moss pole because of how you can see what's going on in the root system from the aerial roots. And then another thing, I've talked about this a few times, I actually just picked up one similar to this from Harbor Freight that's actually green, which, I don't know, I like the idea of it being green, because green seems like plant life, it seems like life, you know, life is, plant life at least is green. But the beauty of this, I know I've talked about this a bit, but I don't think I've ever shown this on camera. So just, you know, get these bad boys nice and wet in the moss pole and let them root in there. And really that's kind of how that goes, you know. Yeah, this is kind of fun. It's kind of awkward trying to do it while on camera. I have very little experience doing it on camera, but there you go. The aim's right, so we're good there. Let's see. Down in there. Yeah, so that was one of the reasons why I like this so much, is it really gives the opportunity to get the moss pole, shoot it from a distance, and make sure everything gets nice and wet. So we got one more here. Just a few pumps there. Let's there. Squirt it from that angle there. Oh. Again, it's okay to miss because you're in a tent. It's just going to create humidity. Okay, so I think that covers all of those. You know what? We're going to pull out a prop box because we're going to show you one other thing that I like to do with the spray bottle. So when I'm spraying my prop box, which this is kind of a fun prop box, got some Epiprinum Panatum Aria, got some Three Kings in there, got some Syngonium Albo, we even have a Cebu Blue for whatever reason, more Three Kings, got some brandies in there. What's this? I'm not sure what that is, honestly. But anyways, another thing I like to do is you take the nozzle, you tighten it all the way back up. You know, loose is gonna spray it really fine stream, but you tighten it up and you're going to get this nice mist. Barely even going to be able to see that, but yeah, you get a nice mist. And that is how I spray my prop boxes. Just get a nice little mist going in there. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. So, 2 reasons why I really like that little spray bottle. So, in fact, that's probably, as far as accessories that are non-plants, that are, I don't know, a non-plant item, there's that, and then probably a nice pair of plant cutters or scissors or something are really the 2 top items that you probably want to get. So yeah, alright, we're going to close back out. Again, once again, appreciate you. That's some more of the B-roll, and we'll close this out. Enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Oh yeah, here's a super exciting update. So, I don't know if you all remember, but many months ago, maybe not many, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I had decided that I was going to prop my ZZ because it was struggling, and this leaf happened to be the one that I liked the most. And so I was like, I'm keeping this leaf. I'm not going to be selling this one. I'm going to keep this one for myself. Well, look at that. Let's see if we can get an angle. Right there. That in the center of the screen is a brand new ZZ leaf, shooting, root, I don't know what you can call it, but that's new ZZ growth coming up there. So very, very excited. Obviously this ZZ is doing very well. It's very well rooted. It's acclimated to my grow tent, which other variegated ZZs, even in the grow tent, they struggled. But yeah, that's kind of exciting news. And then same thing with this one. In fact, this one is even further along. Look at this guy. He's going to put out some new roots there soon. So we're going to have a few variegated ZZ plants going on here in the near future. This one, not so much. But I learned that early on, that ZZs, it's probably not good to keep them in just leca. They need like a leca moss mix of some sort. Just, I don't know why, but they just tend to do better. And I wanted to continue to observe and study, and so I didn't change this. I left it just as it was, and it continues to validate and verify. I mean, it's not doing bad. Like, let's see, right here above my thumbnail there's a root. There we go, right there. And so it's not like it's doing bad, but it's certainly not doing as good as the others, you know. Yeah, here's a good shot here too. So you can see that clearly it's got a big node in there. So it's not doing bad, but it's just not as far along. And I think that a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's not in that mixture of leca and moss like these ones are. So you got leca down bottom, and you got moss, and it's probably because it has an opportunity to dry out better, maybe, as well as hold in more moisture, perhaps, because you're going to have a lot of moisture that's going to sit in up top, but then the bottom's going to be able to dry out. I don't know, I have no idea why, honestly, but I can tell you that the moss leca mix is a much better process for these than, at least for me in my growing conditions, than trying to do it in just leca. But we'll kind of close out on that note. I'll give you one last peek at Pure Beauty, and then one last Pure Beauty as I turn the camera back to me. So let me just say thank you so much. Appreciate you for spending some time with me for a few minutes. This is Trey with Armstrong Aroids LLC. Looking to open up our shop here locally soon, so if you're ever in the Utah area, definitely look us up. It's going to be a soft launch at first. I know that we're not going to have the capacity to just be there in the store because I still have to keep my day job. My wife still has to keep her day job. But shoot us a text or email. Say, hey, we're going to be in the area. We'd like to check out your store. Can we swing by, make an arrangement, make an appointment? And we would love to have you there to just, spend some time, walk around, shoot a video, say hi, shoot the breeze, and we'll go from there. So in the meantime, appreciate you. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe, and if you don't like, at least subscribe and subscribe. Share with me what you want to see that's different. Very excited. Thank you so much, and we'll